Welcome to another exciting episode of Love Talk with the Harrises, where we talk about love, relationships, and a little bit of sex. We're your host. My name is Mike, and this is my beautiful wife.
Hey, y'all, it's fresh.
And today, we'll talk to you guys about temptations in marriage. So, my love,
Yes.
what does the Bible say about temptations?
All right, let me read it, y'all. I don't want to misquote the word. So, 1 Corinthians 10:13, it says, "The temptations in your life are no different from what others experience. And God is faithful. He will not allow the temptation to be more than you can stand.
Mm-hmm.
When you are tempted, He will show you a way out so that you can endure."
That's beautiful, baby.
Thank you, love.
God never fails. So, that being said, what do you think are some common temptations that we all face?
Common, I would say maybe the temptation to lie or
Mm-hmm.
any type of lustful temptation.
Mm-hmm.
um, Gossiping.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, I think that may be like some common ones. What about you?
Definitely those, a little bit of gluttony,
Oh yeah.
lust for sure, uh, and sloth, being lazy. Laziness is also a big temptation. When you said, which one did you name again? What's the first one you named?
I think I said lion.
Yeah, that made me think about when we first started talking and dating. I made it very clear to you. I just wasn't gonna lie to you. I was upfront to you about everything
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted. I feel like when you tell a lie to somebody, you just have to keep piling on lies to keep up from the first lie. So it's always best just to be honest from the jump street
Guess will come out anyway if it's meant to.
for
Might,
sure.
might as well be honest.
Yeah, anything that's in the dark definitely comes to the light. So that being said, what do you think of some common struggles that we also face in our own marriage when it comes to those temptations?
Mm, I would definitely say lust is one. Um,
How so?
well, just not. I mean, can we be fully transparent?
Always, every day.
Okay, this is a safe place, right?
No, always, always.
Okay. So I mean, just recently we were just talking about how we both be feeling tempted to watch porn. Um, so tell me a little bit how do you go through the motions of that love? Like you be thinking like, man, I want to do this, but how do you get through that?
I just want to go down that rabbit hole again. When you're younger, middle school, high school, they kind of push it on you. They make it sort of in your face everywhere. I remember being on a school bus and all my friends be watching on their cell phone on the way to school. I'm like, y'all
Mm-hmm.
getting hyped up to sit in class?
Right.
Not even makes sense to me. But I just want to get in that rabbit hole of either thinking about it or relying on it. I think that should solely be in between us. I don't think, for lack of better words, releasing yourself on anything that isn't
You
my
did better than
wife
me. I would have said something crazier.
isn't isn't the right way to go, personally. So
Right.
it's easier for me just to not go on that rabbit hole because I don't want to have to fight the urges to go back into it. Because once you start it, it's harder to stop doing it than it is to just not do it at all.
Right. Harder.
Yeah. Nah. What about you, love?
um, it was a question how I try to avoid it.
Yeah.
For me, let me think. Y'all, just the other day, since this is a safe place, I was what was I doing? Like for instance, for me, I feel that Okay, at first I used to be kind of like tempted to like smoke weed or get weed, but then I realized that it's like you get through one temptation, I feel like the devil will throw another one at you.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because I've never been the type to really be watching porn. I mean, I've watched it before, but it's never been like a habit or a struggle for me. So just the other day, I was like, I kind of want to watch porn right now. I think I was home alone. My husband was at work, and I was like, God, I be keeping it real with God. Like, God, I want to watch porn right now. I don't know what's going on, and I don't know. I talked to him. I was being real with him, and I don't know. The desire went away, and I just fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that won't nobody but God. And also, I think about how I would feel and the guilt that would eat at me, because I look at porn. I look at porn in a way like if I was to watch it, I feel like I'm in a way betraying my husband. Which I mean, technically, I feel like you are. I kind of see that as cheating. So also I'd be feeling guilty about doing that stuff, knowing that's not in God's will. So those type of things help me to avoid it.
It's also interesting or crazy in the way that whenever you're by yourself, that's always when them thoughts come in. Because last time I thought
Mhm.
about doing it is when you were away with your mom. I was at home by myself. I'm like, just in the house by myself, nothing to do. And well, it's always something to do: play piano or play a game or something. Better yourself, work on reading, whatever. There's always plenty I could have did instead of that. But the thoughts always in the back of your head, and it's way easier. Um, well, let's say you're at work or something, or you're out. I know you're coming home. Well, okay, when you come home, and then we can talk.
Mhm.
But if I don't know you're coming home, you're far away, you're doing something else. Okay, it might be easier just to do that,
Right.
watch it or whatever. So
And I think even porn is kind of like just something. It's not even necessarily because you're how can I say this? I'm gonna just say turned on. It's more so sometimes just something to do to pass time that brings pleasure at the same time.
hmm but nothing like being with your wife, that's for sure. It's never gonna be somebody you really want to be with. We were talking about this the other day, how yesterday on the way home from mom's house, we were saying like random sex with people or people that you just meet or whatever. It doesn't compare to being with somebody that you actually have feelings for.
Mhm.
The emotions are different, the feeling is different, the vibe is different. So I never understood the point in just doing it with anything that moves. Like some of our brothers out there, come on home to the dark side,
What it
the
say?
married side, the good side.
All right.
But it's way better. It's like a waste of your time to do it with somebody that you don't have any feelings for. Like why even do it?
Mhm. So do you ever feel tempted to outside of porn tempted to cheat?
No, not cheat. But I think those cheating thoughts come from like lustful thoughts.
Mhm.
So I remember at the beginning of our relationship, we would always say, even if you think somebody is attractive, that's okay. You might think so. Oh, they look good. They're
Mhm.
attractive. But it's that next thought that gets a lot of people in trouble.
Start fantasizing.
Yeah, thinking about, hey, I wonder if I could talk to them, see how their mind works, things like that. Or like you said, fantasizing. If I had them on, I'd do this and that. I don't even
Mhm.
talk like that. Even if, for instance, the other day I was in the dock, I was loaning somebody's truck, and there's a girl that always comes in there, and she was being a little flirty, and somebody that was out there was like, "Hey, your wife and out there, you be good. Just go ahead and do X, Y, and Z." I'm like, what
Mm-mm-mm.
sense would that make? So I'm good.
Yeah, they be waiting for Mike to fall too to mess up. Somebody literally just said that. Like, I'm waiting for him to mess up. He ain't did it yet. I'm like, what y'all waiting on somebody downfall?
Man, praying on my downfall. I saw my wife. Crazy.
But even like conversations at work, like some dudes be having random. I remember one time I was working in a certain area with it was mainly dudes, and they were just talking about threesomes and would you do this and would y'all do that. It was like me and another girl, and the rest were just dudes. I just walked away. I'm like, and we weren't even married then actually. But I mean, I don't want to give them the idea that I'm trying to engage
Mm-hmm.
or even they may be thinking like, or maybe I can try this. I rather just walk away, and that's a clear sign that I ain't trying to be involved with this
What we got going
conversation.
on?
Yeah, because even that can bring temptation.
Exactly. And they'll keep the company that you keep is important to that too, because
Yes.
sometimes you might think, like for instance, I've always been the friend that people's parents always trust me with. Like if you're going out somewhere, as long as you with Mike, you can go anywhere, you
You
can
good
do
to go.
anything.
Go to Africa.
You'll be fine. But I'm always cautious of the company that I keep and who I allow around us and in the house and things of that nature.
Your circle is important. Cause I know if I was out here trying to slip up, sure would shut that down immediately.
And Big T would too.
I don't know about Big T, but
Go ahead.
I'm playing. I love you, Travis.
But it's important to have a good circle too. Even with Brittany and Rico, they have a very strong marriage, and they're always, or Kirsten and CJ, they're always encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
So even when it comes to being, let's switch topics, a little bit of being envious. I remember when there was a time when me and Charles first got our place. I was single for, I don't know, 2 years.
All right.
Didn't have no size, no nothing. I was chilling. But everybody in the group had somebody. Rico had somebody. Travis had somebody. Kurt had somebody. I'm just single all the time by myself. I'm like, dang, I can't get nothing. But
Dang, calm down.
but at the same time, I was happy for them, and I wanted them to be happy with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think taking those feelings of happiness makes it easier for you to get a blessing yourself instead of being envious towards what somebody else has.
Right.
Like even for our own marriage, I always saw your parents even before we started dating. I'm like, man, they have a very beautiful thing. Or even one of my childhood friends, Tyler, their parents have a very beautiful marriage. And I've always loved it, and I was always happy for them. But I wanted my own as well.
Mm-hmm.
One I could encourage other people with, and somebody I could grow and love and just be me with. You know.
Yeah, that was a good point too about kind of shifting that from being envy to kind of more so just being happy for them.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about this yesterday as well. Like instead of being envious, just think of it as inspiration. Like if God did it for them,
Mm-hmm.
He'll surely do it for us too. So
100%.
gives you hope.
100%. And there's no temptation, like you said in the scripture earlier, that God will put in front of you that you can't resist or overcome.
Right.
The temptation might be strong, it might feel strong, but you can always turn away from it and say no. Because that temptation leads you into those particular sins.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, even earlier, we were talking about that lust. When you have those lustful thoughts, you need to cut it off early. Like, they look good, cut it off, keep it going. Think about something else. Or I used to always think, or even now, see somebody attractive, oh, they look good. My wife look better though.
Period.
So that's just the way that we choose to carry it as far as lust.
Even so, what you feel about when we be watching TV and like a sex scene come up? Do you think any of the does that ever try to like maybe tempt you like I kind of want to watch porn now? Because sometimes these sex scenes, y'all, it be basically BB porn. It's not soft porn no more. It's like
Oh yeah, everything
medium
be out.
porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for me, that's a question. Really, really quickly. What'd you say?
Does that tempt you to watch porn when you see like maybe a
Oh,
snippet on?
oh no. Takes me to go talk to my wife. That's all. About something cool.
Okay.
Yeah. But those scenes everywhere now too. It's really pushed in your face, and it makes you think about we have kids, or even when True's over here, I'm always cautious of what we all are looking at when she's
Mm-hmm.
around. I don't like
What we listening to?
yeah, or even if it's just me and you in the house, and when them scenes come on, like that show you like to watch,
Mm-hmm.
every time a sex scene comes on, I always just kind of like fast forward through it because I ain't really trying to, you know,
So do you feel that that's easier to do when we're together? Or but when you're alone, is it just as easy to skip through those sex scenes?
definitely a little more challenging to skip through them because nobody's around and watching.
Mm-hmm.
But I still skip through it because I don't want those thoughts in my head, or I don't want to be thinking about somebody else or the way they do stuff.
That's what I was
Could throw
saying.
my
Like,
game
yeah.
off.
Because if I'm alone and I see a sex scene, like let's say you at work, I'm like, dang, that sex scene wasn't enough. Let me go to the next thing. That's why I think it's important. Like, you just gotta skip that stuff because you know what tempts you. So why even fall into it?
Fall into that cycle. So, my love, do you think temptation could be a good thing?
Can it be a good thing? I don't know, baby. How about you answer that? I don't know. Can it be a good thing? I mean, yeah. Give me a scenario.
You know, that show we watched called I think we watched like half of the first episode. It was on Netflix. It was called and something. It was the one with the couples.
Ultimatum.
Ultimatum, yeah. And
Y'all watched the
they
whole jank.
oh, you did?
Hmm.
How was it?
I didn't get the point of it. So it's basically, uh,
Spoiler alert.
oh yeah, one couple, the man wanted to get married, and the girl wasn't sure about getting married.
Mm-hmm.
So they entered this challenge where basically you would go on the show, see who you most compatible with,
Right.
and basically it was to see like if you were happy with another person, and if you wasn't, you go back to your actual person. Or would you basically see that the grass ain't really green on the other side?
Yeah, I do definitely agree that that show was definitely a little crazy. I should definitely check it out. Or from what I saw from the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
But they put him in a very precarious situation where I thought we were being a little precarious. Where you have one person that's like, hey, marry me or else. Because I always hated ultimatums where you're put in the spot.
Yeah, forcing.
Yeah, because for a little more context, basically they switch partners on the show. And when you're living with somebody else for about 30, 60, 90 days, whatever the time frame was, of course, in the beginning, it's going to be great because you have those first initial sparks when you meet somebody. But that has no real indication to me if you're really meant to be together. It takes time and scenarios and things of that nature. But living with somebody will definitely speed that process up.
Yeah, they literally threw themselves into a situation where they would be tempted.
100%.
They switched partners and they would live with the person. Some of them were sleeping in the same bed. Then they go to interview like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to do this and cheat against, but technically they signed up for this. I'm like, man, just go ahead and cheat.
How was it what you do in the first place?
Yeah. It's a pretty dumb show, but it's interesting at the same time.
Yeah. But I guess in a way, if they weren't living together in the same houses, maybe that show could have been, or show the temptation kind of a good thing, but then not really, because why you doing that switching it like
Oh,
that?
you gonna catch feelings.
For sure. So I really can't think of another really good situation where temptation could really be a good thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing, nor do I think it's a sin. But I think like the Bible said, we all tempted, but it's about if you're gonna take that action and actually do what you tempted by.
Mm-hmm. Because it's that temptation that leads you into a particular sin.
Hmm.
But temptation is all around us. From gluttony to being envious of somebody or lying or whatever. You think you ever tempted to lie in our relationship?
Oh yeah,
No.
more so because I don't want you to see me different.
What's that about?
What you mean?
Like, why do you think my view of you will change over telling me the truth?
I guess because I'm looking at myself in that own way, in that type of way. Like, Precious, come on, he done messed up again. I think I'm judging myself more so than what you actually would.
Yeah. I know sometimes you used to, if I messed up a little bit, you would be hurt. Not because I messed up, because of that same thing of, not saying you see me as I'm perfect, but you kind of see me in a higher light.
Yes, that is so true. Yeah, I was telling him I basically see you. I don't want to say I put you on a pedestal, but like you said, a higher light. But when doing that, you don't give your partner room to mess up. Like they ain't Jesus, so we all gonna mess up. So yeah, gotta realize you're just a human being like I am.
I think it put you in a higher light as well. But I think that's a healthy thing. I wouldn't want to put you in the same level as anybody else. But
Hmm.
there's always pros and cons to everything, even including that mindset. Because even if you do mess up or I mess up, I don't see it as a bad thing. Well, actually, it makes me really love you more, baby, because it makes us go through a little something, and we get through it, and always be stronger. We're always stronger.
Oh, baby, I love you. Have you ever tempted to lie to me,
Oh
or just
yeah,
in general?
oh yeah, for sure. But like I said, even from the beginning, I wanted to be truthful with you because it makes things easier. And I can keep up with lies. To be honest, it's just too much to keep up with. You tell one, and I keep up with the rest of them, and I don't know. Best to tell the truth, way better.
And like we said earlier, I feel like what's meant to come out is gonna come to the light. So better just to tell the truth.
Yep, I think I do a bunch of covering and hiding stuff. That was way back in the day, though. It was a lot easier with other people. You just lie, and it just was as it was. You wouldn't have any
Yeah,
feelings or emotion behind it.
I ain't care that much about that person, so especially yeah, that's another story. But yeah,
No, get into it, baby. We got time.
nah, maybe next episode.
Yeah, I remember my last one, and according to her, I was cheating on her. That's when I was talking to you, though. But it was just texting. I wasn't texting you nothing crazy. But I guess she could feel the vibe.
Oh, definitely. If I put myself in her shoes, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I did it once. I wasn't like, yeah. Couldn't help it though. Like, it was you.
It was worth it, baby.
100%.
Forget
I'll
her.
do it again. 10, 20, 30 times. It was a lot easier to fall into temptations with other exes or with all of my exes as opposed to now, like with my wife. I guess because the my mental is different. Like watching porn or whatever with an ex or whatever was, you care less. I haven't kind of thought about it. They're probably doing the same thing. It didn't really bother me. But being married now and being with you, but seeing how much we grow and we're on the same level based off of the same, values that we have. That's a lot
Mm-hmm.
easier.
Right.
As opposed to having a million temptations and trying to be faithful to somebody.
Yeah, the flesh is very weak.
Yeah, so you're with somebody and you're especially giving in to lust a lot and pornography and doing all those things. It's harder to be faithful to somebody. As
Right.
opposed to you cut those things off. You just focus solely on that person.
I agree.
It's like easy to dig your heels in and really see what God's trying to show you. And see that person is really for you. What do you think, baby?
I agree.
Well, in that case, y'all, it's another amazing episode of Love Talk with the Harrises. I know it was a little short this time, but
Gang.
we gave you all we had on this one. But make sure you guys like, you comment, you subscribe, you share, tell your friends about it. Thank you so much for the views.
To
Thanks
your
for getting
mama and
us to
daddy.
43 subscribers. We're trying to get our way to 100. Looking at my watch, that's not here right now.
500K.
Okay, 500K. I love that energy. And as usual, we love you. Thank
Love
you so much
y'all.
for tuning in. And we'll see you next Tuesday. We out.